All right, guys. Good morning and welcome to Trading with Meatball. And this one is for the H1gbee. It's actually one of our guys we trade with in our group, H1gbee. Shout out to you. I call him Higby. I got nicknames for everybody. Our Discord's free, guys, but I took the link down because I'm not trying to grow it and I'm not trying to sell you anything. Just won't spread my knowledge so that you don't get scammed by all the scammers out there. So Higby asked me to go over some of the things that we were doing. And of course, this is the QQQ yesterday on the 15-minute chart. And so this one's for Higby. And I don't care if you like it or not. We put up videos all the time. And the last couple videos I put up, all the stocks ran the very next day. And so I put up a video explaining to you how I chose these stocks and how I analyzed the chart and why I picked them. And it got zero views because nobody wants to learn how to do this. You just want the hot stock tips. So that's fine. If you're here for hot stock tips, you're not getting any. I'm talking to Higby on this video, okay? And I'm going to show him some of the indicators that we use. And if you want to learn, then follow our journey. I'm just an old man that used to be a stockbroker, and I'll show you what I know, and you can put it in your toolbox. You don't have to do everything the way I do it. But this yellow line here, Higby, is the 20-day moving average, okay? And the blue line is the opening print. I always mark the opening print, and I mark the top of the candle. And I usually do the 1 minute candle, but whatever. So we use Ripster's Clouds, and this is the indicators on TradingView. And I use a free version of TradingView because I'm an old man and I don't like paying for shit. And here's the Ripster's Clouds, okay? And then the other one we use is the volume, which is easy. You just get volume, right? Um, this TSPEQ 20-2, right? I don't know where that one is. I thought we had that one saved. Goddamn, I hope we did. I believe it's this one right here. Yeah. It's this one right here. But it looks like this. I know it's weird. Here, let's get rid of it. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Okay, so then I go into this one here and I change the settings, which it's kind of weird the first time you do it, but after you play with it, it's not that bad. Okay, and then I like the other one to be purple, right? Well, the inputs tell you I don't want the Bollinger Bands and I don't want the 180. I just want the 90. And that's the third one. One, two, three, four blocks. Okay. One, two, three, four. And it's purple. Okay. And so that's where I get the 20-day and the 90-day. And I chose the colors. But once again, it's if you go into indicators, it's equal BB20, but there's a lot of these Higby. I just want the 20-day moving average, and I also use the 90 sometimes. But there's so many of them. Sorry, I just woke up, guys, and I'm an old man and I smoke way too much, so I can barely breathe when I get up. I've also had 29 surgeries, and all my bones have been broken, and my face, and my ribs, and my chest. I'm barely alive sometimes, right? But no, I'm alive. It's just over the years I've had many, many injuries. So, and I smoke too much, so I cannot breathe when I wake up in the morning. And so Ripster's Clouds enabled us to hold this for a banger home run yesterday and the SPY because when you're on the 5 minute, it can get scary and we get these retracements. But you notice how it touched into the clouds, and this is a QQQ on a 5 minute chart, but it never touched the yellow line, which is the 20-day moving average. And so I kept zooming out and I was gritting my teeth a few times. I actually went in several times. You can see I went in more than once. And I was selling because early in the morning, I'm scalping into 40, 30, 40, 50 percenters. Okay. But when it did the retracement and took off again, this is really strong. And this is going into 11 o'clock. The trend is in. And I always say that I want to wait till 10:30 or 11. And the SPY did the same thing. So at that point, then we're back in. Okay, we're holding, and then a double's a double, guys, or an 80% or whatever. I'm out, and then she goes red. Well, when she catches the green again, and she stays in the clouds and starts going green again, I mean the trend is in. They've been running it. Okay, the news is bullish. They're going to run this thing all day, and they did it. Well, they did it, and that was the third time in the last 4 Fridays. So if you're paying attention, last Friday it did not run all day. The 2 Fridays before that, it did. So that's 3 Fridays in a row. Or I'm sorry, 3 out of 4. In any event, Higby, I use the clouds, but you don't have to. Look, I used to use just the 20-day moving average, and some people actually prefer that. Get rid of this damn thing. Okay, some people prefer to just use the 20-day moving average or 21 or whatever they use. I don't know, you know. It matters though, Higby, on the time frame. See, 5 minute, 15 minute looks different. Okay. See, it's really far away on the 15 minute, but on the 5 minute, it's pretty close to it, right? And then on the 1 minute, it'll scare the shit out of you. Watch. See the 1 minute? Oh man, it's all over. It went underneath it several times. And so if you zoom out to the 5 minute, it's less scary. And the 15 minute, see how it stays away from the yellow line right here? So it's not touching the 20-day moving average. And then the 15 minute, obviously less scary. But if you just sat here and watched it, which I did for the last one, and when it was going, 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 and I've been holding this thing for 3 hours at one point. I don't know. Maybe it was the spy. I had both, guys, and I elected to hold the QQQ and sell the spy because I had several Qs and I had loaded more than one, and so I trimmed as it went up. But I decided to hold one of the QQQs longer, which I never do, and I held it until like two something in the afternoon, and I said, "That's enough, man. You know, that's enough." Um, the QQQ looked a little stronger because NVIDIA was going, okay? And NVIDIA's pulling the QQQ with it, okay? So I was watching that. It's one of my tricks. Also watching Apple for the SPY, and I took Apple puts in the morning, and let's look at those because that was actually 50, 60 percenters for me. And right here, I caught it when it was leaving the clouds, but more importantly, um, see, as I took it early too, and 9:50. I waited 20 minutes, but as it opens right here, I think this was the opening print. This one here, this is a fake out. See, this is a fake out right here. That's the opening print, and then it goes right below the clouds. Okay, well, zoom out. It's below the yellow line right here, which is the 20-day moving average, and it's below the clouds. But zoom out to the 15 minute. We had posted this on Twitter. Yes, we're still on Twitter. We don't post much there though. Why? Because of this. They're trying to sell you something. Stop listening to people who put you down. That's why we don't post a lot on Twitter. You can do this, okay? I didn't even read the post on there yesterday because I knew somebody would put on there, if you didn't make money today, then you need to do this, blah, 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 blah. And then sure enough, one of the people who I'm friends with and admire and look up to posted that exact bullshit right there. If you didn't make money today, you need to do this and sign up for my course. They're running a business. They're trying to sell you something, guys. I don't sell anything except the idea that you can do this and you are smart enough. Okay. No inner circle, no Rolex. Buy the fucking dip. All you have to do is right here. Here's a secret. Read candles and use the 20 MA. Keep it simple. Keep it simple and follow the trend. Okay. What am I talking about? Okay, this is AMD. It didn't pay very well because it sucks donkey. That's why. But I bought one early and it was a small trade, and then it ran and I was like, "Hey, I'm rich." And I held it because it's a key area of 200. I thought it would go to 201, 202. Okay, well it did, but that was later after I sold it. So usually I like to scalp the open. If I buy something before 10, I only hold it for like 2 or 3, 5 minutes or something. And the market was getting kind of out of control. And I said, well, let's see what happens. And, we're into it. It's 10 o'clock already. And so then it runs up and it crashed. And I was like, oh, that's it. They're gonna retrace it and then do it again because just like this, a retracement and then a move. No, they retraced all the way down to the 20-day moving average. Okay, and then they chopped it for an hour or something. And while they did that, I was loading, loading, loading. And so when it went up, I started trimming, trimming, trimming. Uh, Not on purpose, guys, but I got stopped out, and that's fine because it went down all day. Even though you see the chart going up, it was losing time value. So that was not a home run. But my point is, buying down here it worked out great because this was like 197 and it went to 202 later in the day. And we can look at that later right here. Boom, 202.64 on the close. And so it worked out, but because they took all day to do it, it wasn't a banger home run on the time. It's losing time value. But let's get rid of the clouds. Hello. Okay. Ripster has good videos on how to use the clouds. They're his clouds, and you can watch that if you want to, Higby. But I talk about how I use them. And so reading the candlesticks is important. You can get a book off Amazon for 15 bucks on how to read candlesticks. But we saw the wicks on the bottom, and that kind of tells us what's coming. And it did. It went right back up, and that was a good spot to trim into, but it wasn't a banger home run. But I had loaded the boat down here, and I watched her go up, 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 and it worked out okay. But it wasn't paying me that well, guys, to be honest with you, because the time value, it didn't go up fast enough or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And so I got something, and then up in here, I was trimming because I was scared they were going to dump it on me as it reached a new high, and they did. They retraced it, and so I ate donkey dick on that one. I say that because I didn't make a bunch of money, and it was a non-event for me. But it tied up some of my cash. Okay, it tied up some of my cash. And so making small bets and spreading them out throughout the day is what works for me. And this is the 5 minute on the SPY. Notice how she touched the 20-day moving average and it wicked below it. Okay. But when you put the clouds in, it's less scary. And see, with the clouds, it only wicked through the line once, but right here it held the line. And then if you go to the 15-minute, even less scary, and is just green, green, green. It stayed outside the clouds all day. And so zooming out to the 15-minute and using the clouds can help us hold longer. Thank you, Ripster. And I hope this video helped Higby a little bit understand how we use the 20-day moving average, but also on the 5 minute chart, because it's going to change if you go to the daily or the 15-minute. When I'm trading during the day, I'm on the 5 minute chart with a 20-day. I zoom out to the 15 so I don't get faked out. All right. All right, Higby, go get them. Take their lunch money, dude. Have a good weekend. And yes, we share the whole screen. We just don't give a shit.